bored. I mean, what do I do with my time? Oh, I know. Start a podcast.
The wolves are the right answer.
All right, guys, debate is over. We are moving on right now.
I do believe they've confounded me.
And I kind of just missed this.
Hello, and welcome back to the Trifold Tea podcast, a podcast that I started with my two sisters so we can feel at least a little of the love that we used to when we were growing up.
Oof, that's insane.
Yeah, it's a bit dark. Anyway, I am, as always, your lovely host, Sel, and I am joined, of course, by my eldest sister, Ezzy. Yeah. And then, of course, my other sister, the middle one,
Jen.
Yeah, we have a very exciting little docket here for y'all to just listen to us yap, of course. Yeah, and I think the first thing that the three of us have prepared today is, I mean, our whole gimmick, of course, is that we are related. We did indeed come from the same mother.
Supposedly. And father.
Let's
insult him right
Y'all
there.
have something to say? Yeah, so the first thing that we want to do as part of our show and tell segment, where we just talk about something that's on our mind, is we all are going to go around and we are going to share a memorable childhood story. So who wants to go first? Who's yapping at the bit?
I guess I could get us started.
All right.
Eldest, first memory.
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
You have the most memories on account of old.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
All right. So I was a pretty curious child, almost too curious. And I kind of wanted to know how the door lock worked specifically. Jen's already shaking her head. If I pushed the lock on the back of the door while it was open, and then I kind of closed it from outside, if the door would stay locked. Pretty good thing to test out, I think. And I did. What I didn't realize was that Jin, as a baby, I was around 3 at this time when I had this little theory to test out. Jin was a baby, and our mom had put her on the bed inside the room. It was a pretty big bed. It wasn't like neglectfully putting her on the edge or anything. She was in the middle of the bed. It was great. I locked the door. It wasn't like she was going to fall off immediately. Unfortunately, it was around the time when she was starting to roll over a little bit. And so there was a little bit of a threat that she might roll off the bed. Anyway, yeah, our mom kind of freaked out a little bit. I think rightfully so now looking back. She ran outside and looked through the window to kind of make sure that she wasn't rolling over. I don't really know what her plan was at that point, because what's she going to do? The baby's going to listen at the ripe old age of 0 to 1? Probably not. But yeah, she was there, I think, just watching her. And then our dad kind of kicked the door down to resolve the situation. But yeah, I think that's a very, very good memory. It's definitely a popular one that gets told all the time by our parents. I'm sure Jen has her own specific thoughts about this, but
yeah, that's just not how I remember it. Of course, granted,
you were one.
I
She was
don't
a baby.
remember
She's got
it.
no memory
I
about
was
this.
less than one. I wasn't able to sit straight. I think the first, I guess, like mismatch is I believe I was on the ground. And the way that mom always said it was that I was going to hit my head on the wall.
Yeah, because the mattress, the bed was against the wall. So you could either roll off and fall off the bed or roll on and then hit the wall on the other
Interesting,
side.
yeah. So she always said that, like, oh, she could see me essentially like almost going to hit my head on the wall. She was sure that I would die that day. There are multiple instances in my childhood where I almost died, and this is one of them. Just one.
Mom does have a flair for the
dramatic, I want to say.
I mean, she's a mother. I'm sure she can tell when her child's in danger, right?
Yeah.
But of course, like, I have no memory of this event. It's just been retold multiple times. Yeah, and Sal wasn't even born for this, so, has no recollection.
Yeah, I didn't get to do as many experiments on Cell, because I did most of mine on Jin.
Whoa. Holy you just said something incorrect. I had an entirely separate memory, but clearly I need to jog people's memories inside the room with me.
Let's hear it.
So let's talk about when I was 5 years old. Well, okay, so clearly I'm not like a baby who could die from a bad rollover. But
Right.
5 was like it's an age to form trauma memories for sure. You locked me into the room.
Another locking story.
Yes, at age 5.
She strikes again.
I don't remember this. At age 5, as he locked me into that room, and I remember I was like, da. Obviously, I was 5.
Why
So-
did she lock you?
Yeah. I don't
You
remember
must
this at
have
all.
done something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
No,
She
by that
just-
point,
she
I
just
had
like-
mellowed down quite a.
yeah.
She just liked playing pranks. She was a very precocious child. She just locked. Obviously, you can unlock the door if you're inside the thing.
But as a child, you have to know to do that.
Well, I mean, 5 is a reasonable time. Anyway, I'm just
So you're
banging
just
on the
calling
door.
yourself
I'm like, bah, bah. And they're on the other side. They're going, stop crying, stop crying. You see a thing in front of you, you're going to twist it to the right. And I was like, it's too much direction. And I twisted it to the right and then I opened the door. But yeah, you locked me inside the door too.
I don't think that happened.
You're
I
an
think
evil
you
child.
probably did it accidentally.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, this is a very common theme. The two of them gaslighting me into things that
No,
happened
no,
to
I
it
me.
feel like
probably-
at least one of us would have recollection if I
Yeah.
did it again. Also,
And on purpose.
yeah, mom and dad say like the my story, the story that I said all the time.
Yes.
If there was such a story that where this happened again, they would have definitely
She's
said
also
this more
5,
often.
so they
Ain't
probably
no
didn't
way
care.
y'all are this.
Editor Cell here. We literally argued about this for 5 minutes. So I'm going to save you most of the in between and we can just jump to what happens right after.
Yeah, hate to add on to the Ezzy crimes, but
Oh,
this
Lord.
one's also something that was, deep dive that Ezzy did. So
You've got plenty of crimes, Jen. Don't worry. We'll save it for a
well,
future
in
episode.
that story that you just said, I wasn't even involved. So I was the nice kid for,
Lies are being said.
to be
But
able to
continue.
like place me in the, like timeline. I was always the nice one. So anyway, yeah, that's fine. I'll take the nice. But my memory is essentially of the time that I broke a finger.
Ah, I love this story.
And it's important to know that this is the only bone in my body that I have broken till this day.
So far, there's still time.
And it was caused entirely by Ezzy. So you have to realize that there's a 3-year age gap between the two of us. So when I was 6, Ezzy is 9. Ezzy would like to make me give her piggyback rides.
Well,
or
I
like,
didn't force you that.
or,
time.
like I would be on all fours and she would I would have to give her rides, right? Like manually have to carry.
as the first
But you're like older, bigger, taller. But I was a strong kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was
I was
actually true.
jacked. So like what you have to realize is it was my pride to be able to carry someone. When someone asked me to carry them, I did that shit. So
No dares
she
needed.
goes and she's like, okay, come on, give me a ride. So I'm like on all fours and it's like, the elephant ride. I don't know what you call it, but basically she's just on my back and I'm just walking. Nothing crazy. I'm not even supporting all her weight. She somehow is losing her balance. So she decides to reach for the coffee table and she lifts it and puts it back down. What she didn't realize is that I had moved my hand to balance myself because, I'm carrying her weight. And she drops the coffee table onto my finger and my bone breaks. Entirely caused by her. I couldn't tell anyone because of course she walks up to me. She's just like, don't tell anyone. You can't tell anyone. This never happened. You're okay. You're totally fine. So
I'll give you a ride.
right, exactly. My parents come home, I don't say anything. There's a little bit of, a little bit of a pain, but not a big deal. The next day I can't get off of the couch. I'm hurled into a ball. I am in so much pain, but I can't tell them what happened. I'm just like, yeah, my hand hurts. I don't know what's going on. They take me and they're just like, yeah, your bone's broken. What happened? I did not say anything to the doctor. I come home and then I'm just like, you idiot, you broke my bone. And then that's how everyone found out that it was because she dropped the coffee table on my finger as a 6-year-old child. Yes.
Would you guys, I know I shared one because the two of you tried to gaslight me, but I do have
we repeal that gaslighting.
right. I do have an actual one
All
that
right,
I
go
wanted to
ahead.
share.
Okay.
If you guys remember, I was a very obsessive kid, right? I was obsessed with Tom and Jerry, the show, and I was also obsessed with a very popular movie. Indeed, it was Shrek.
Of course.
What I would do, so I'm like 3 years old, by the way. At age 3, I was so into Shrek, I would have mom put the little VHS DVD and I would just loop it over and over again. The minute we got to the end credits, I would have her rewind the tape back to the very beginning, watch it from the beginning. So I was living, breathing, sleeping Shrek. So what I would do,
It was a very annoying time for the rest of us. But
right?
But
What
she
I
did
would
this
do
with most movies. So
yeah, I was very, very obsessive. But what I would do after I had seen Shrek is I would go rummaging through Dad's closet, and I would find a belt.
I remember this vividly.
And I would stick the belt down the back of my underwear, and I would pretend it was a tail, and I'd stomp around on all fours like the dragon from Shrek. I was just so captivated by that dragon, that big red dragon. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And the crazy thing is,
Do what exactly? Do what exactly?
stomp around like the dragon.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I would do this even when we had company over. Mom and Dad would be entertaining some guest or some far off relative or whatever, who cares? And I'm just walking into frame wearing nothing but my underwear, and there's a belt stuck down the back of my underwear. And I'm tromping around. Bah, bah, bah. And even though I would love to have it erased from memory, I'm pretty sure there's a video, no?
Not of
not of
that,
that
one.
one.
There are videos of the other stuff you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna mention the other stuff. But
yeah.
yes, that is the memory. Yeah. So as he's out here locking people indoors, breaking people's fingers,
Right.
Jim
I
is out
see this a
here
different
being
way.
swole, and I'm pretending to be a dragon.
I don't know.
Not much has changed over the years, eh?
Oh, well, are you still doing this?
Yeah.
I have something to tell you.
Oh, God.
You're gonna want to sit down for this one. Shall we move into our next segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Who wants to tee this one up? Let's go.
Well, so essentially last time we were all together, we talked about a show that Ezzy brought to the table. It was called Four Seasons. I actually started watching it. I really liked it. I stand by what I said the first time, so got to check that out. But essentially, I wanted to spin off of that and describe a show that I really like and see whether either of you would guess it. So
Okay.
the show, I mean, I know almost immediately you will, but essentially there are some relatives, and one of the relatives is married to a not so great person, but that person's kind of blind to this person, the other significant other's treatment of her, right? So in this situation, all of the siblings can very easily tell that this guy is a prick. And that's what they call him.
I know the
Got
show
it.
too.
I guess I kind of gave it
You
away.
gave it away.
Yeah.
That
But
singular word gave it away.
Essentially, it's you guys can go ahead and
I'd like
cue
to buzz in. This is Bad Sisters on Apple TV.
Yippers.
An
Yes.
amazing show.
It's
Amazing
a
show.
really good show. It reminds me
must
so
watch.
I still
much
haven't
of
finished that
ourselves.
show.
I know. I don't know why you haven't watched it. We watched it
haven't
so
gotten around
fast.
to it.
Although, yeah, to be fair, I think maybe the reason I was so hooked into it is I watch it with you,
Yes.
and you were giving me commentary as it was going on.
Perhaps. But even more, it's just like, it's a show. Obviously, everything's going to be a spoiler here, but it's a show about sisters and the things that they'll do and the ends that they will go to protect one another. And like every scene in that show, I look at it and I'm just like, I would have done exactly the same thing. And I can't tell if it's because I have sisters or because I know what it's like to want to protect someone so badly and they don't want it. They're just like, stay in your lane. I have my own life, but like wanting to do that. And it's just, it's a really great show. Season 2 came out. Both seasons were just as great. Highly recommend.
So I had a different interpretation of what we were supposed to do for this segment. Basically I'll just tell you kind of a chaotic way to say the plot, and then you guys can try to guess the movie.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah, I think that's what I did too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so 2 blue-collar workers commit a workplace safety violation and spend the next few days frantically covering it up without HR finding out. They hide a foreign body, go on the run, and ultimately dismantle their company's business model after learning that it's built on unethical
ding, ding, ding.
practices.
I know it.
All right.
This is for 500, Alex. This is Monsters
That
Incorporated.
is
God bless
correct.
America.
Good job.
Interesting.
You know what this is like? This is like that one subreddit. Explain a film plot badly.
Bladley? blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, maybe as a future segment, we should like just go through
And
like
read
some
one of
those.
those.
Yeah, read one of those. And then all
honestly.
3 of us get to guess.
That's
But
pretty
anyway,
good. Yeah,
locked in. That's a point on the map for Cell. Alex,
right,
you're saying?
all right,
Another
Cell
point
then.
on the map because I actually guessed Bad Sisters
Well,
first. So.
I knew the answer too. I didn't know we were
both
buzzing
of them
in.
knew. So,
Yeah.
all
I was
right,
a little
so
fast.
take it away.
All right,
all
give
right.
us yours.
Okay. An overweight guy desperately tries to get rid of homeless people on his property.
It's Shrek.
What the heck?
Yeah, it must be.
Guess what?
Mine is
What the hell?
Also,
Oh.
you just talked about Shrek, man. You're
Yeah.
still
As
obsessed.
soon as she said
Let me
that
go
too,
again.
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
my
my story's dead.
All right, let me go again.
Last
Let me go again.
chance, bud.
A local foodie fights his teacher's son and saves his kingdom.
A local foodie.
A local foodie, animated movie,
Fights?
fights his teacher's son to save his kingdom.
His teacher's son.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this is.
He's a foodie, so he likes food. He fights his teacher's son.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, baby.
That's Ezzy, by the
He
way.
fights his teacher's. Oh, okay.
He fights
okay.
Tai Lung.
Oh,
Yes. Anyone have another retelling?
Yeah, my second one was actually about Shrek as well. Mine
Aha.
started with the reclusive homeowner,
A reclusive homeowner.
but we'll leave that to another time. All right, so next one is after accidentally sabotaging his community's payment to a violent protection racket, a well-meaning outcast leaves home to find reinforcements. He returns with a group of mighty warriors and rallies the community to fight back. Although the true background of the warriors turns out to be fabricated,
God bless.
he still manages to organize his people to confront their oppressors and win
Ding,
the
ding,
fight against all odds. I gotta
Ding,
finish
ding,
to give Jin a chance
Ding,
here.
ding, ding,
I'm
ding,
just
ding.
like, birds.
Cell supremacy. Cell supremacy. The answer is for $1,000, Alex. A Bug's Life.
That is
God.
correct.
Bug's Life.
Yes.
I don't know. I could have been a bit better.
At first, I was thinking ants, but I knew it was Bug's Life, but I thought it was called ants. And then you mentioned there being different bugs. And I was like, okay, it's a Bug's Life.
Life. Yeah.
It's a bit of a rogue one, but I think you guys can get it. Okay. We center on a main character. Okay. Has a thriving family.
Oh shit! Is that unique to just this one, or is
Right,
that
I
true
was
to
just like,
everything?
okay.
Main character gets kidnapped, okay, and thrown into like a prison of a sorts, right? But emphasis. He befriends a fellow prisoner there.
Spirit?
How the hell did you know?
I knew immediately, as you said, it focuses on a main character. What you have to
God
realize
damn it.
is Cell had one other obsession as a child. And it
Okay,
was
yeah.
Spirit.
It was
The two-
Shrek and Spirit.
My two most beloved movies I probably shouldn't have used
out
for
for
this.
this.
Moving swiftly forward.
Sure. Okay. Our next little segment is basically just reading, essentially, Am I in the Wrong stories.
So here it is. There is a guy at work who steals my food every single day. Every time I confront this person, they just look blank and they're just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I know that they've been stealing my food. This person has a severe peanut allergy. I put peanuts in my food, not maliciously. This is just like, for instance, like it's like having a peanut butter jelly sandwich, having something that uses like a peanut sauce, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. The point is, this is what I'm planning to have for lunch. I'm not allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
So what do I care? I put it in the fridge. I open the fridge during lunchtime. I see that my peanut curry's missing. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, coworker must have got it. I go over, I tell coworker, hey, that had peanuts in it, by the way. I don't know if you ate what was in the fridge, but that had peanuts in it. He grabs an EpiPen, sticks it into his thigh, but now he's accusing me of like maliciously putting peanut something in my food.
Sorry, I missed a key element. So the person sees that the food is gone, goes and approaches
Correctly suspects
the
that
guy
the coworker
and says, hey, in case you ate it, there was peanuts in it, just so you know, I don't know if you're allergic. And then he immediately starts.
in case you ate it. Right. And of course, in a very telling fashion, freaks out. He blows up at the original poster. He's just like, you could have fucking killed me. What are you doing? Da, da, da. Who's in the wrong?
Oh, very
Clearly
clearly
the person
doofus
eating the
Very
food.
clearly the coworker.
Yeah.
Okay. But if we flip it on its head a little bit,
There is no flipping here, buddy.
Yeah,
you
you
deserve
deserve
terms
this
of-
fate.
I disagree on
flipping in
this.
terms of in this story, it just happened to be the case. They had brought a peanut related dish. What if you knew and you intentionally put peanuts into something that
It's your food.
Right,
You
but,
can choose to have what you want in it.
I mean to say that, like, for instance, I think in this story, it was like a peanut curry, right? Like a Thai food type thing. Imagine if it's something innocuous, like a chicken Alfredo, like just some pasta with some chicken. And I just like sprinkle some peanuts on top of it.
Again,
am I still in the
your
right?
food.
Your food.
It's your food.
Unless your company has a policy where you can't have certain allergens in the workspace or something like that, which that doesn't exist, right?
It's your food. you are, I completely agree, right? I'm kind of devil's
I don't think
advocating
there's
it
a
here,
debate here.
but it's like, it's my food, but because I know this guy's probably going to eat it,
Well, that's
I could
okay,
kill this
right?
guy if
I wouldn't go in and steal someone else's food. I mean, the audacity to do this day after day after day.
And then complain that they
Yeah.
put peanuts
No,
in
he
their
deserves it.
own food. He absolutely deserves
Right.
it.
And I'm saying this as someone with food allergies.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not expecting
Yeah.
other people to cater their lunches
To
for
my
me.
needs. Yeah, that's absolutely wild. Like going in and taking someone's Tupperware.
Yeah,
like you don't even know if they're
that's
washed their
insane.
dishes. Like, what do you mean? Nah, absolutely not.
All right, next.
Should I?
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I'm just
Gin
going to
man.
read this one because it's a little bit longer. All right. So, my cousin Emily and I used to work as admin assistants at a mid-sized marketing firm several years ago. She was technically on another team, but we overlapped a lot on shared admin-related tasks like calendar management, client emails, etc. She was really fun to work with socially, but honestly, she was kind of a mess. She missed deadlines all the time, would forget to log hours, follow up with clients, and I ended up cleaning up behind her more than once. She wasn't mean or incompetent, just scattered. We've stayed close-ish since then, mostly family holidays, occasional hangouts, etc. At a family cookout a few weeks ago, Emily told me she applied to be a nanny. She said the family is basically ready to hire her, but they just wanted a reference. She hasn't been a nanny before, so she asked me to pretend to be a former client. I said, sure, mostly because I didn't want to make it a whole thing. Then the family called. They asked me some basic stuff, and then as a final question, asked if I personally feel confident leaving my own kids with her. I don't have kids. But I said, I think Emily is really caring and warm, and kids seem to really like her. I just say that she works best in environments where the expectations are clear, because sometimes she struggles a bit with time management and multitasking. That was it. Nothing dramatic, but she didn't get the job. The family apparently told her what I said, and now she's calling me two-faced. My aunt, Emily's mom, thinks I was petty and says I overstepped. But I think sugarcoating her past work ethic would have been dishonest.
Yeah, I guess my first question is, what
is a
was
hard
their
one.
job?
They-
Like, what job did they work at together?
They were admin assistants. So
Okay,
like
see,
scheduling
I don't know
calendar
if
stuff.
admin assistant and nanny
Yeah.
are comparable
that
jobs.
was exactly my thought. Yeah.
So like, to
Yeah,
me,
so
it's
you
like,
can't, you kind of were overstepping a little bit. But
yeah,
also,
it's like
but al-
time management and efficiency. Like, what? How would that even matter for a
yeah, for what
job
it's
where
worth,
you're
we're
nannying?
always going to have a little bit of a bias because, I mean, there's no world where you do that to like a family member or
Yeah.
even a close friend. There's no
Yeah.
world.
I think like my big problem is that this person asked you to be a reference, and if this is how you felt about her, you shouldn't have said yes.
Yes.
That's a really
Right,
shitty
right.
thing
You
to
would,
do.
yeah, up front, if I didn't trust you to do a good job, I'd be like, hey, I might have to be honest and tell
Right.
them a couple of times where you slipped up when we were admin assistants.
Right.
And it'd be up to you to be like, sure, but that was when I was an admin assistant, but I'm really passionate about working with kids. So this
Yeah.
is different.
You just, I mean, yeah, if you're not
Yeah,
going to
so-
say it to their face, don't say it behind their back.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, this
what is the
person
point?
said in the story, like they just said so that it doesn't become a whole thing at the family cookout. But like you could have said yes, and then later on said, hey, you know, like
I don't
after
feel
thinking about it,
comfortable.
I don't feel
or
that
even say like,
comfortable.
hey, I'm fine doing this, but just so you know, I will tell them about this
Right.
specific situation about how you weren't great with time management or something.
But I mean, like, yeah, I guess if you said something like that, like to me, even though if it was true, right? Like I might feel a little bit offended. Like,
but then
Yeah,
you
you
can
might
just
feel
say,
offended,
okay, well
but-
then if that's the case, I'm not going to have you be my reference, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Sure.
it's definitely crappy to agree to be a
Yes.
reference and then say crappy things. But also, even if this was another admin assistant job, they said that this was several years ago. Like, are people not allowed to grow
Yeah.
or
change, get
improve
better?
on their skills? Yeah, yeah.
And it's also like, what's at risk here? Like at another admin assistant job, if she messes up, and the thing is, even if she messes up, no one's going to call you years later and be like, you said she was great. No one goes back to the reference and goes,
Yeah.
hey, you messed up and gave us a bad reference.
Right, it would
Because
all
your
just come right
opinion
back to her.
really doesn't matter unless it's negative, right? But in a nannying position, I don't, yes, obviously a child could be at risk or something like that, but really, like, I don't know that time management and missing appointments on a calendar is really the,
I mean, but it clearly like
biggest
rubbed the family the wrong way.
because I'm
a
sure
little
they
bit,
were
right?
super anal to their
Yes.
children, right?
right.
But anyway, my take to
Wait,
the
sorry,
table.
real quick.
Yeah, go
Out
ahead.
of curiosity, what were the comments saying?
What do you
I'm
mean?
sure they agreed
Oh,
with
the
us.
actual comments are, it was kind of mixed, honestly. Like some were like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that to the cousin. Like it's so hard to get a job. Like if I ask you to be a reference, I expect you to be a good reference.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
other were like,
Yeah,
kind of on our side of like that side, basically, like you shouldn't have agreed to be a reference. But then the others were just like, no, like you have the right to be honest in these
Yeah.
conversations. And I was just like, wow, these must be really good, fun coworkers to be
Right.
around.
You're outing yourselves as not good references.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
on that.
Sorry, Jen, go ahead.
But yeah, mine isn't because there's a bunch of lead up. I just feel like this is also one of those things where I feel like there's only one right answer. But it's real short and sweet. But my boyfriend, who is 24 years old, wants me, his girlfriend, 23 years of age, to do all of the housework, even though we both work full time and I am in school.
And is this a debate or like what's
This is
happening?
absolutely not a debate. And here's the thing. I didn't even read through the other comments because I immediately read this and I was like, I can name people in my life who still live like this, where they do all of the household chores for their significant other. And it's not gender specific even. It's just one person just really carries the weight. And maybe the other person makes up for it in other ways, or maybe they're the primary breadwinner, whatever the case is. But a lot of times, both people work a full-time job and one person's carrying all of the weight. And obviously, like in this post, they have a heartfelt conversation. Things get better. They're now, working things out more equally. But I just don't understand like why people do it. If you guys have more insight and also like what you would do in the situation, or why not talk about it sooner and be like, hey, I need help doing this. Or are they just happy doing it?
I mean, I think it's a little mix of everything. Some people are just, we see these trad wives content on social media all the
That's good
time,
content.
right? So yeah, I think some people just genuinely want to do this. And that's just something that's fun for them. I think like, honestly, I'm not even lying. Like if we were financially so well off that like it didn't require me to work full time, that is something that like I might enjoy doing. It's just like being a homemaker full time. Would I actually do it if I came down to it? I don't know. But like some people just genuinely like that. But also it's the gender thing, like we can't ignore, right? Like men just tend to sometimes expect that women do this because women have been doing this for quite a long time.
Or that's what they saw their parents doing. That was their
Right.
split. And they're
Right.
just like, well, my mom always did the dishes.
Yeah.
You don't do it. And it's like, no.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
guess-
especially like as we look at like older generations and across other cultures, we can see like more and more that women do all of the sort of, unpaid labor, essentially. Yeah.
And that kind of sucks because it's like as a child, even you then associate one parent as like the fun parent versus the other parent as the parent who's like giving you your baths and forcing you to eat food. And like, maybe the 30 minutes that you spend with, let's say your dad's the one who's not, putting in as much effort is amazing. Like you get to play with him, you have fun. Like, and I guess our childhood could have been slightly similar to that as well. Because a lot of my memories with our dad is he's throwing us into the air and like letting us climb, like, very tall, like letting us climb up, like that kind of thing, which is, it's so fun. But those are my memories of my dad. And my mom was always in the kitchen cooking or always cleaning or running up after cell, like crazy, right? But I always think of that too. It's just like, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, as a kid, I used to hate taking showers. That was like my benchmark. And always mom would be the one going, go now, get yourself cleaned up. But dad would be like, she can wait a day. Right. So I was like, God, dad, you're the best. You're the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, clearly it's like a responsibility thing. Go take a
Yes.
shower, you stinky little gremlin. Shall I go next?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Am I in the wrong for telling my daughter she cannot pursue a relationship? And now here's the context. Okay. Daughter is pursuing a relationship with one of her mother's friends. Daughter is an adult. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pursuing a relationship with a friend. So the mother is like in her late 40s, early 50s. This friend is also late 40s, early 50s. The friend approached the daughter, propositioned her. The daughter agrees. The daughter's like in her mid 20s. So this is not like some fresh out of high school.
Well, so I need
confused
more
person.
context. Like, was this friend a part of their like childhood upbringing? Was this a friend that the mother just met like 2 months ago? Like, What is the context
They
here?
were friends while the child was growing up, but this friend was not involved in the child's like childhood to a certain extent. But the point is, like, at the end of the day, these are two adults. The daughter flips out at her mother saying, "You have no right to do this. I'm going to keep doing whatever the hell I want." But the mother saying, "I now feel justified in like cutting both of them off until they can kind of come to their senses and realize this is
Yeah,
not
I
okay."
think that's fair. That's first of all, it's just, I mean, I know that people are adults and like age gap relationships work for some people, but I think it's just creepy when you look at a child and then later on when they become an adult, you're now suddenly interested in that. I think that's just creepy.
Yeah, it's definitely icky. The rub here, though, is
They're adults.
are you as this? You're basically just a third random person for
But
all
that
intents
is
and purposes.
not true. In
Are
this
you allowed to
case,
forbid?
you are the mother, right? In this case, you have a connection to both of these people. If I was a stranger, I don't care what people do. You're an adult. You want to have an age gap relationship. That's totally fine. I don't care. But in this case, you are the mother of this daughter and this is your friend. It's weird because you see your friend as equal to you, right? I'm not currently friends with people that are 20 years younger than me, right? When I see my friend, they're equal to me. However, my child is not equal to me. Even as an adult, like I am still their parent.
Right, but can you forbid?
No, I mean, clearly they're going to do what they want, right?
Right,
Like,
like,
I don't think
there is no-
forbid is like you
And I
get
think
locked in a
cutting
cage.
your daughter off is risky too, because I mean, if this ends up going poorly, are you alienating her for just
No, because
making
the
a
kid
bad
will
choice?
come back. Look, if they make a bad choice, they'll come back. And if this is the choice they want to live with for the rest of their lives, eventually, if this relationship is important, either the mother will come to terms with it or
Right.
the daughter will
But
come
here's
to terms
will
with
they
it.
come back? For instance, okay, let's just say she goes, "If you continue this relationship with my friend, I'm cutting you off. Don't call me anymore. Don't text me anymore. The next time you call me, you better have like broken up with him, or otherwise like we have no relationship."
Yeah,
The relationship fizzles out, it goes poorly, whatever. But the daughter is just so like in her head about leaving the last interaction with her mother poorly. Maybe
Okay,
that
but-
relationship is just forever gone. because
No,
of
I
one
don't think
mistake.
so.
work
Even
that
even
way.
as like the mother in that story, like if
Well,
I'm
you
taking
guys
the
say,
mother's
I don't think
point.
so, but remember, this is based on how the daughter is perceiving the situation.
Right,
And
but I'm
very
saying
easily,
if the mother will clearly find out if the daughter and the friend break up through one or the other, right? So it's almost like the mother could also reach out, and like people repair relationships that are
All the
broken
time,
all
yeah.
the time, especially parents and children.
Again,
right?
like they may come around, right? And to me, my opinion is a little bit different than Ezzy's. And I think about it in a different perspective. Let's say your dad wants to date one of your friends, right? So your dad is 20 years older. He wants to date one of your friends. In that situation, it's the same age gap. Now, you can forbid your dad to do whatever you want, but in the same context, he's an adult. Your friend is an adult. They can do whatever they want. If you're just like, hey, I'm never talking to the two of you ever again, sure, you can do that. But this is a very common thing that happens to a lot of people, right? So, well,
Yeah.
not super common, but
single
to me, it's like you can't control someone else's life.
No,
Like,
I don't think it's about. I didn't mean to say it's controlling. I'm just saying I understand how the mother feels.
Yes. But I
yeah,
think
you
in
can
this situation,
empathize, but also it's like, is this the right thing to do? Because the daughter is like pissed off at her mom. She's like, how dare you intervene in my love life like
Here's
this?
the thing,
Just be
even
supportive for
if-
me. Be there for me where I need you. Don't cut me off.
I don't know. I mean,
but I'm saying like my thinking is like the mother also knows this friend. Like if she
Deeply,
doesn't
yes.
want her daughter to date this friend, there's usually a good reason. Like I'm friends with people, but I would never allow them to date either one of you. Right?
Yeah.
They're friends with me, but I don't trust
and
them
I
as
think
partners.
that's the difference. It's just like, the forbidding thing is one thing, but it's like in general, like, a mother could be like, hey, I don't want you dating that guy. You guys could be the same age. You know what I mean? Parents have things like that all the time
Yeah.
where they're just like, I don't approve
Not
of
that
this
it makes a
relationship.
difference. In the original post, the poster does say the guy is very sweet. Their relationship, for all intents and purposes, looks like it's a fairly loving relationship. She just can't get over, hey, like you are way too old for her. Da 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 da.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
A bit of a heavy-handed topic. Anyone got something to like?
A little bit lighter, but yeah, I'm gonna read this. So a few months ago, my friend Ava went on the spiritual retreat overseas. She's really into earth energy, crystals, ancestral healing, and that kind of stuff. I'm not really into it, but I figured, hey, live your life. As a thank you for watching her cat while she was gone, she brought me back this hand-carved wooden mask from a local she met at the retreat. It had these hollow eye sockets, long horsehair fringe, and this burnt smell that she said was from ritual smoke cleansing. She was so excited about it and said she chose it because it looked like it needed me. I tried to act grateful, but honestly, it looked haunted and it freaked me out. I kept it on a shelf in my apartment for a week, but every time I walked by it, I got chills. I even started having weird dreams about faces watching me. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but it got to the point where I'd avoid walking past it at night. So one day, I just threw it out. She came over a few weeks later and asked where the mask was. I tried to play it off like I put it away, but she could tell I was lying, and pushed until I kind of admitted that I had gotten rid of it. She got really upset and then said, that wasn't just a gift. It was something I connected with spiritually. I tried to explain that I appreciated the gesture, but it made me uncomfortable to have it in my space. I even offered to pay her back for it. She said, you didn't just toss a decoration, though. You disrespected something I gave you with intention. Now, our friendship is strained and our mutual friends are saying that I should have at least given it back or told her before getting rid of it. But I feel like I would have hurt her feelings if I told her that I didn't want it. I just wasn't expecting her to search for it in my apartment.
Here's the thing. As you were reading it, I was immediately like, okay, first of all, I would have thrown it away. Like the first night I brought it home if I didn't like it. It's a gift. You gave it to me. I have all the right to get rid of it. You have no right to question
like it's
me on it.
definitely shitty of the friend to like look for it in the, like if you gave me a gift and you're just walking around my place looking
no,
for
I don't
it.
need to hang it up or
that's
put
a
it up
thing.
or
Yeah,
Yeah,
anything.
clearly the poster here is like a pushover, right? Because realistically, I can't think of a friend, if this were happening to me, I can't think of a situation where I wouldn't just be upfront and tell my friend.
Yes,
I don't-
immediately tell them.
But
I
that's
don't
not
really
true.
but clearly the
instance-
poster can't.
No,
have
for
that
instance,
conversation.
if I gave you a plant, you're not really a plant. I'm not a plant person. If Jen is a plant person, if Jen gave you a plant and you don't want the stupid plant because it's a responsibility that you don't want to take care of, you know, but she gave it to you, she was like, hey, like I saw this plant and it's so beautiful and it reminded me of you. And like, I picked this out and I brought it here from traveling.
So would just give it. I mean, we're giving each other the
literally
dirty
tell-
look right
I'd
now.
be like, I'm going to kill this within the week.
Do not give it to me. I think we're just direct. But here's my like.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
don't
saying. It's
think
a
I'm that
personality
direct.
issue.
Yeah, I'm not that direct of a person. If someone like puts so much thought into it and like are bringing me this thing, I don't think I could be like.
But here's
"Ew,
the
I
thing.
don't want
Like,
it."
Well,
let's go to the same plant example. The person gives you a plant. You have severe allergies to it. You are discovering this after the fact. Are you going to hold on to this plant that's giving you severe allergies?
That's like a medical thing, right? But this is
the
more like a.
nightmares are also a medical thing, right? Like you know what you're feeling, right? So
Right,
if
you
you
can
don't
say
like
this
it,
this
you
makes
get
me
rid
feel
of
bad.
it.
No, I'm with the person like, you know, getting rid of it.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
just,
Right. You may not be as direct.
All right, so fun little stories. What's next?
You want more of this?
On that note about discussing whether we're wrong, I don't know if I'd be wrong in suggesting that you watch or I guess listen to our first podcast. We did more of a general introduction, gave you our hot takes on several more things. But of course, if you want to stick around and hear more about our childhood and upbringing, stay tuned for the next one. Drink your tea.
Bye,
Sip your tea.
guys.
Bye.